Happy holidays and welcome to the Armadillo Christmas Bazaar. I'm Kevin Connor from Sun Radio, and we're trying something a little different this year. We're having actual interviews with artists, both musical artists and some of the visual artists here at the Armadillo Christmas Bazaar, which has its forever home now at the Palmer Event Center, the north end of South Austin, and you are invited to come join us all the way through Monday the 23rd, and I am honored to have the headliner for the first night of the Armadillo Christmas Bazaar, Kevin Russell, the leader of the band, the man, the band, the legend, Shinyribs.
Yeah, baby. All right.
How are you, Kev?
I'm pretty good, man. A little disappointed in the humidity mugginess that came back. I was really digging yesterday.
I love the honey crisp apple kind of winter days, but
Yeah.
this is more like, well, some of your Christmases of your childhood.
Yes, exactly. And down
Christmas
in Beaumont, Texas, yes. Yeah, I like it cold and wet. You know, that's mushroom weather. I think I was a mushroom in a past life.
You should be a Portlandier.
I should be. I've thought about it. I certainly thought about it.
So what was Christmas like in Beaumont?
It was usually warm, and we were always sweating and playing football, you know, outside most of the time, trying to avoid my mother's yelling at us for something.
Aw.
Oh yeah, it was constant. And then usually something would get broke. Like I remember, I still have this telescope that I got one year, and my sister broke part of it, and we JB welded it back together, and it's still put together. But I've never gotten over that.
Do you remember how old you were when that happened?
I was 10 years old.
Oh man, she broke
1977.
on Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day, my brand new telescope. There went my astronomy career.
Oh my goodness. Well, same thing happened to me on Christmas morning. I got a drum set.
Oh.
And I was maybe 8, maybe 9.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother was already playing clarinet, and he was trying to rehearse our band for when Nana and Grandpa came over later that day. Apparently, I was drumming a little too much. He got mad. It turned around and kicked a hole in my bass drum on Christmas Day. And I will never forget the look. I hope to never forget the look on his face of like, oh my God, what did I do?
Yeah.
And it kind of took the juice out of playing drums.
Yeah, it would do that.
Yeah.
That's how clarinet players are, though.
And for which I guess the rest of my family is all grateful that I didn't become a drummer. Because if you ever live near a drummer, oh my God, you can always hear them rehearse.
Yeah. I got a set of drums when I was a kid, too. I destroyed my own drums, though. Not on the Christmas Day, but over time, I just completely obliterated my drums.
So what was the first instrument that you were playing where you felt like, hey, I'm kind of getting a hang of this?
Yeah, well, definitely guitar.
Yeah.
I tried drums. I tried trumpet, and it wasn't until my dad showed me a few chords on the guitar. He taught me Proud Mary.
Wow.
Yeah, minus the da-na. He didn't know that part, but the rest of it.
Did he play a lot of music?
He did, yeah. He was a campfire kind of folk singer, congregational church singer in our churches. He led that. Yeah, he was a musical guy, and he sang in the shower, Pavarotti in the shower.
Hey, now. That should have been an album.
It should have been
Pavarotti in the shower.
Pavarotti in the shower.
That would have sold a lot.
Yeah, he had a great operatic voice. It was really cool.
First band?
My first band, it's hard to say. We had a lot of different names. Eventually, we were called Malice. Yeah, this was in middle school, high school in Humble, outside of Houston, Humble, Texas.
Uh-huh.
And I know I don't pronounce the H in Houston or Humble, but that's just me. But yeah, Malice, we had one gig. It was a Valentine's Day show. And we had a band, 4 guys. 2 of the guys didn't show up. They were too scared. So it was me and the drummer. We didn't have a PA. We didn't know how to do anything. So the DJ let me use his microphone. And I had this giant casino amp that was like 12 12-inch speakers. It was massive, like something from Woodstock. And it was just terrible. My drummer, David Harris was his name. He was a great promoter. He had the whole school worked up. People were talking about Malice all over the school, and the place was packed. It was like everybody was there for the Malice show. And then by the end of the show, which was like 3 or 4 songs,
Right.
the place was cleared. We were totally dejected.
You had the good buzz.
We had the buzz.
Yeah.
We had the buzz. Just didn't have the content.
Oh, well. But you stayed with it.
We stayed with it. Our parents took us to Denny's afterwards and told us, hey, this is your first gig. You got a lot more gigs. You'll get better from here. You learn and all those, lessons our parents teach us that we don't want to hear. But, yeah, stuck with it. And now I'm living the dream, baby.
Living the dream, which includes opening night here at the Armadillo Christmas Bazaar. Was it Shinyribs that first played, or did you play the Christmas Bazaar with the Gourds? Or
Oh, yeah, the Gourds played at the music hall is where we first. Doug Sum got us into that. He's like, man, I play it every year, man. You gotta play the Armadillo, man. You gotta do it. You gotta do it, man. Sir Doug does this. If Sir Doug can do it, you can do it. That was basically it. And so we were like, okay, we're sold. Yeah, we've been doing it ever since.
Yeah. Well, you've got a Christmas record, Kringle.
The Kringle Tingle.
The Kringle Tingle.
Ooh, yeah.
And Kelly Mickwee was in the band. She was a Shiny Soul Sister at the time. Mm-hmm. And I, like a mook, said, so did you decorate the studio like it was Christmas to get in the mood? Because all Christmas records are usually recorded in the summer. And she just looked at me and said, no. Like,
we decorated it with tequila.
There you go. I'll give you the Kringle Tingle.
It was fun, though. We did it at Mark Hallman's place, the Congress House. Yeah. Is where we recorded the Kringle Tingle. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you get into Christmas.
Oh, yeah. I love Christmas. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you got your own suit?
Got my own what?
Suit.
Oh, yeah. I've got, I had a purple one. I got rid of it finally. Now I have a green one, sort of a Grinch green one.
Uh-huh.
But I think I'm going to do tie-dye tonight.
I like the tie-dye. That's very Armadillo.
Yeah, it's very Armadillo. On brand. But maybe I'll do a costume change at the break. So
there has been a bit of an evolving lineup in the Shinyribs organization in the past couple of years. For you, it's your band.
Yeah.
You're the man.
Yep.
It's the Shinyribs organization. What's the biggest challenge for you as the band leader to keep it moving, keep it going?
Man, it's there's a lot. I mean, I have a tour manager, Choppy Waters, as he's known, who helps me quite a bit.
Also does the best introductions.
And
band introductions.
Great MC.
You'll hear that tonight.
Yeah, great MC. And but the hardest part is probably the money side of things, the financial side, just making it work and keeping expenses controlled and keeping the musicians paid, because I like to pay them as well as I can.
Right.
That's the biggest challenge, and where I got into over the last few years was having to just play constantly to keep people paid, and so I had to change. I had to restructure the way I do things a little bit. I had everybody on salary for a long time and did it that way, but it was. I decided I wanted to dial things back a little bit. I'm 57, so I figured it might be time to slow down a little bit. The leg kicks and knee bends, and so everybody I took off a salary, and I just pay them per gig now, and it's going to allow me a little more freedom to take some time off.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's not the expectation.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Well, that's interesting. That is it's hard.
It is hard. Yeah, that's the trickiest part, because these people I play with, I love them. They're family, and they'll always be that way. And some of them we've had to move on at times, and that's been painful. But it's always been for the best. when I do move on, I try to upgrade to a better player. But it's also got to be the right kind of person, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't well, you know what I'm talking about. When you manage a lot of people, you know, one bad apple.
Can spoil the whole bunch.
It's
girl.
really true.
Yeah.
I've had that happen too. So
But the payoff
the payoff, yes.
is the show.
The payoff is the show. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got a great band now. It's everybody's so professional and so dialed in, and they're grown-ups. That's what I love about them. Like they'll do their own work on their own. They like rehearsal yesterday. We had to brush up on this Christmas stuff every year.
Yeah.
And this is our only Christmas show of the year, really.
Really?
Yeah. You know, we had to have a rehearsal yesterday, but some people couldn't make it, and so I was like, well, I'll just record the rehearsal and send you and you can rehearse on your own, and that's what they'll do, and they'll show up prepared. It's really great band.
The amazing thing about really good musicians is how spontaneous they can be.
Yeah.
And those of us in the audience, we don't know
No.
that maybe they're winging it, and
Yeah.
and the smiles are oftentimes we pull that off.
yeah, exactly.
Now you do have a show after Christmas,
Yes.
the 28th, across the river at ACL Live at the Moody Theater. Reckless Kelly and Shinyribs. I know those guys.
Yeah.
I said, what compelled you to want to come on stage after Shinyribs?
They know me. Yeah.
But what a great double bill.
Oh, it's a great. We go way back with those guys. I remember when they first came to town and we're playing the Continental over there. And I was like, who are these guys?
Who are these
coming in?
kids?
Who are these outsiders
From
coming in here?
Idaho.
Idaho. Who-da-ho, Idaho. Listen. So, yeah, but this their last shows, basically. Is what
They keep saying that.
Yeah, they keep saying that.
Yeah,
And
you can milk that for years.
That's true.
It's like those furniture stores on Burnett Road going out of business. You were going out of business 4 cars ago.
Those conniving little Idahoans.
So, record-wise, where you at?
Got a record in the can coming out early next year. It's called Leaving Time. I'll share it with you. You should hear it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of going back to basics. It's we recorded it in Martindale with David Beck. He was at the helm, and me and my bass player Mason Hancomer and John Grossman, also known as Johnny Keys, on loan from Uncle Lucius. We recorded it live in a little house over there in Martindale. It's very acoustic record.
Really?
Yeah, real song oriented. Some great songs in there. Some I've had for years. Some are new songs. But it's definitely a smaller, more acoustic song centered record.
So what is Christmas like at the Russell home? Are people worried about somebody yelling at them? Like when you were a little kid?
No, not at my house. No, we are so chill. In fact, today is my wife Robin's birthday.
Oh.
So when I get back, we're going to have a lunch, and our tradition is decorating the tree on her birthday. We used to get a tree on her birthday, but you can't do that anymore because they're all gone by now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It didn't used to be that way. I remember one year we didn't have a tree, and she got sick, so we had to wait even longer. And my young daughter Lily, was so upset when we were driving back from Grandma's house and we still didn't have a tree, and she freaked out.
Aw.
So my boys didn't care. They were like, well, we don't need a tree, and it upset her. And I remember taking them home, and I knew there was an Optimist Club somewhere over like 1626 over in there in those baseball fields. I was like, well, let's go over there. Maybe me and my wife and Robin and Lily, we went over there in the middle of the night. It's totally pitch dark. There's nobody in there. There's like somebody blasting a radio in a little warehouse there, and we didn't want to. I like knocked on the door, nobody answered, and I was like, this is weird. But there were all these Christmas trees laying against the fence, and it said free on them. So they were already done. So we got 3 Christmas trees that year.
Nice. Made up for lost time.
Made up for lost time. I said, I'll put a tree in your room. I'll put one in the living room. I'll put one in the bathroom.
I read that John Prine used to keep one up in his office all the time. He just loved Christmas and
I wonder if it was
and
real
gave Christmas
or
trees as
artificial. It
gifts.
must have been artificial, huh?
Pardon?
It must have been artificial tree.
I don't know. Well,
Unless he had fresh trees brought in all the time.
as an allergy sufferer,
Yeah.
our tree goes back in the bag and goes back in the garage.
Man, that
and
sounds,
it's okay.
that
It
sounds
looks
dreamy
fine.
to me.
Really, it's all right.
I think that's the way I want to go. That's been a debate at our house for a long time. I think an artificial tree would be great.
They're fantastic.
Yes. And my daughter actually got one this year, and I was so proud of her. I was like, see,
But
the ornament don't fall far from the tree.
there you go. But artificial music is no good. We got the real stuff here
That's
at the
right,
Armadillo Christmas Bazaar.
That's right.
Young Jack Barksdale is going to start things off at 1 o'clock. And you're going to come back at 7 o'clock
Okay.
with the full band.
With the full band.
It's a little cozy
It's pretty
stage.
cozy. It's pretty cozy.
Yeah.
But I'm good at dancing in small spaces.
All right.
Yeah.
Kev, always a pleasure. Kevin Russell, a.k.a. Shinyribs. He's going to give you a little kringle tingle tonight. It won't be all Christmas music.
No. It'll
No.
be a little bit of Christmas. But mostly we're just going to have a fun party.
Christmas songs are kind of like eggnog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There'll be a
2,
few.
3, 4, you're feeling good.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll have a few.
8,
but
9.
we're not going to kill you with Christmas music.
Thank you. Kevin Russell, Shinyribs.
Thank you, Kev.